On a lighter note, ladies and gentlemen, I point this out. This is Chelsea Clinton. I was in journalism at the time. This was 2014. I was out in journalism by this time, by the time this story broke. But Chelsea Clinton got hired by NBC and paid $600,000 a year. Did she have previous experience working for the local TV station in Des Moines, Iowa? No, she did not. Did she do journalism in college? No, she did not. But this gets her, but it was obvious to everyone at the time. NBC News hired her so that they could curry favor with Hillary Clinton, who was, senator from New York, thought to going to run for the White House in 2016, which she did. So let's throw some money at the. I mean, it's not the first one to do it. It's the same sort of thing that happened with Hunter Biden. The top one is Microsoft's Copilot. The bottom one is Grok. The question is, how many stories did Chelsea Clinton do for NBC News? Fewer than 30 stories from 2011 to 2014. 30 stories. The Grok says it's 14, totaling about 58 minutes of airtime. Ladies and gentlemen, a short time ago I was going through, I did a, what do you call that, temporary subscription or introductory subscription to newspapers.com. I searched my name through their archives, and I determined from newspapers.com that I did approximately 200 stories from the middle of June through December of 1994. That was my first 6 months out of journalism school, working for the Lompoc Record. More than 200 stories in 6.5 months. She did 30 in 3 years. It's that sort of nepotism that gets to me. In fairness, well, both sides here. Jenna Bush Hager, I think at the time she was just Jenna Bush, one of George W. Bush's daughters, is also working for NBC News. The difference between the two of them is Jenna Bush appears to have some talent at it, because she's still doing it. And from all indications, she does it well. I don't watch. I guess she does the fourth hour of the Today Show. When I was growing up, there were 2 hours. Now it's 4 hours. But unlike Chelsea, she appears to have a talent for it. But I don't like this nepotism stuff, especially in journalism. There's lots of it. In fairness, Ben Dreyfuss probably benefited from some of that, but he's actually a decent writer. He worked for Mother Jones magazine for many years, or several years. I'm not sure how many. But this happens a lot. It's not what you know, it's who you know. It's not what you've done, it's who your parents are. Which brings us to this.
Democrats were the one that were hurting people, making this plight.
Who was casting the votes against opening the government? Democrats or Republicans?
Who was casting
the votes?
Scott, who was wanting to cut SNAP benefits?
Nobody.
And
Republicans
who was playing up
times.
SNAP benefits after 2 courts ruled that it was unallowed?
Republicans voted to fund SNAP 15 times. Democrats voted to defund it 15 times. And now it took, and we had to get 8 to join us.
You talk about the Affordable Health Care Act. Okay.
It's terrible.
Landmark legislation is not perfect. We understand that. Democrats, Republicans, independents, 70% of Americans, not Democrats, not just independents, 70% of Americans believe that they should increase those subsidies past the dead mark of December, the COVID era subsidy benefits. So it's a huge, huge thing that Democrats, Republicans, 70% agree with. And look, when it comes to the government shutdown, I was of the persuasion that to go for it, I didn't really get it. Democrats wanted a fight. They got a fight. Chuck Schumer, back in last year, didn't fight. He got a lot of flack for it, particularly in his home state of New York. So they wanted a fight, but they found a fight that was worth fighting with talking about the Affordable Health Care Act. People were with them. Democrats were leading in the polls. We won big on Tuesday.
That's what it was for, right? It was for the election, right?
Well, I think we should have kept going. What I don't understand, and which I would love others to help me out understand, I don't understand why we caved so soon when the American people seemed to be on our side.
Because the election ended. You just said it. It was for the election.
Listen,
the election ended, then you caved.
I want you to take a good look at that screenshot there. Anna Navarro's just to the right of that guy we were hearing from, Dylan Douglas. On the left is, I'm blanking on his name, but he's a former Democratic congressman. Woman directly across from Scott Jennings, the other guy who's in the split screen, who's in the foreground here. Don't know who she is, but she's not a known conservative. And then the host is not a conservative. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on 1. It's worse than the exact opposite of Fox News is the 5. So who is this Dylan Douglas guy? Who is he? Let's find out. He is on Sirius XM Progress, Young American with Dylan Douglas. We'll take a deep dive into defining issues of Gen Z and feature candid discussions with politicians, activists, and thought leaders on a range of topics including reproductive rights, climate change, gun control, and other social and political matters. Listen to Young American with Dylan Douglas. How did he get this gig? He's young. What does he accomplish? Why is he on CNN? Well, poke around a bit. Father, Michael Douglas. Mother, Catherine Zeta-Jones. There's your answer. So Dylan got embarrassed, got his hat handed to him, and he shouldn't be shocked. He's in good company. There are lots of Democrats who appear on that show who get their hat handed to them by Scott Jennings. So he's in good company. But, he's a Nepobaby. His parents are not happy. Michael Douglas and Catherine Zeta-Jones reportedly furious over son's on-air humiliation on CNN. Well, I would hope that my parents would feel the same way, but, if it happened to me, they'd probably, be better. Be better. Do a better job. But not Hollywood stars. Nope. The couple said to be furious. Zeta-Jones thought the interview was unfair and exploitative. It was a mild debate that he got a can of whoop-ass opened on him. Meanwhile, his father thought the outlet crossed a line. Part of the reason, this is where I love, part of the reason the couple is so angered by the entire situation appears to be they knew their son wasn't prepared for such a heated debate. He's 25. Charlie Kirk was doing more challenging things at a younger age. Charlie Kirk was better at it. But 25. First, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time Dylan Douglas has encountered an opposing view. It's the first time he'd met someone who didn't agree with him politically. Shocker. He managed to get through 25 years of life. Dylan's never been spoken to like that in his entire life. He's always been the golden boy, adored, protected. CNN gave him a taste of the real world, and his parents hated every second of it, said a source. Yeah. Eric Erickson has a radio show, which I would love to have a radio show at some point. Nepobabies rarely have earned their place at the table, and it never goes well for them. He's right. Dylan Douglas, congratulations. Hope the rest of this goes well for you. Do better research, think it through a little bit more. Maybe you should find a friend who disagrees with you, or a frenemy. I don't know. Just, get outside your bubble. Maybe you should watch Scott Jennings clips so you don't stumble into the same pothole that a bunch of your predecessors have. And again, people who are more experienced than Dylan have been made to look the same or similarly. So, don't feel bad about it. It's, you're not alone. I want to thank you for joining me here today. I got more stuff slated for tomorrow, so hopefully we'll get to that. Thanks for watching. Again, please follow me on all of the appropriate social media sites. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, leave a comment. Love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.